So what do you think went wrong, and when did you start getting vibes that, something might be a little bit off?
Yeah, so it happened very quick. I throughout the whole journey, every conversation we had, he would reassure me and tell me how confident he was with me, and we would have great conversations, and I would always leave walking away so happy. And when you're in an environment where these women are going on dates with him and come back even like stronger in their relationship with him, and you're kind of just week by week like waiting for that feeling to be chosen and wanting that time with the man that you want to potentially get engaged to, it gets hard. And I would say going into Estonia, I was very hopeful that I was going to get that time with him. And when it didn't happen, it was confusing. It was like there was no actions following the words that he was giving me. And watching that conversation was just as confusing as it was in the moment. But I felt very misunderstood, and I was frustrated. And, you know, watching like my exit, I wish that I used that verbiage with him. I feel like I could have explained myself better, but I was going to that conversation anxious and confused, and I wasn't able to like articulate myself the best way. And
Honestly, I thought you were pretty straightforward. I understood
Yeah,
all of it.
but I do agree with you because when I remember that scene specifically when you were in the car, I was like, "Ah, I wish she would have said that to him
mhm,
because it made perfect sense."
I think like at the end of the day, like, I think he was confused with what I meant by quote unquote a one-on-one. What I meant was quality time, but I think to him he was getting confused. But at the end of the day, like if he was my person, he would have taken that time to help me articulate my feelings and help me and like get to a place where we both can come to an understanding. It just felt like I was like talking to a wall. He wasn't listening to me. It felt like everything I was saying was just like wrong. And
Well,
I
I think not to cut you off, but I think I I personally, and I could be wrong because I'm not Zach, but I do think he gets in his head a little bit when he thinks that somebody could potentially be there for the wrong reason. And I think you saying I want a one-on-one time instead of him taking that as she wants to spend some quality time with me. I feel like he was taking it like, oh, does she just want more airtime?
Yeah. And who knows? I mean, I would hope that he knew my character by then to know that that wasn't the case. Like, I was always out of drama. Like, throughout the season, like, I'm barely there because I was always like in the background, just like not getting involved. So I just hope if that was the case, then that hurts. But I don't know. I think,
Jess, you know what I also noticed, which could be something, it could not be. When I was on, I remember there was a time, and like sometimes you have to put yourself in like the lead shoes, and I don't have that experience, but um, I remember I would like go and talk to Peter, and you only get a certain amount of time to talk to them, but they're talking to so many different girls that like if he's coming off, I remember he was coming off a really, really bad conversation with someone, and she was like bawling her eyes out. I'm not going to say her name, but bawling her eyes out. And then like she leaves the room, I walk in, and he's like has to switch his vibe and his energy. And it's like, I sympathize with the leads on that because it's not easy to do. Like when you get into like a bad spot or an emotional spot and then just switching it for, the next 5 minutes to then happy thoughts, like it's harder to what word am I looking for? It's harder to do that in your head than one may think. So, whether you came at him and he was just already kind of like in a bad mood and he was like confused or tired or whatever it might be, like he could have just been like, just kind of had brain fog a little bit. And I wouldn't be like so stressed on being like, I wouldn't be too hard on yourself to be like the one on one and you really messed up. Like, there's just so many different elements that go into this. And I wouldn't fault yourself if that's the case.